What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. I'm headed down I-80 West into Iowa. I'm actually in Iowa now to deliver this load. And I wanted to make this video that's been brewing in my head for a while. I wanted to make it the other day, but I was just a little too busy. This is going to be Tesla versus Hyliion. We're going to talk about the Tesla Semi, and we're going to compare and contrast to the Hyliion ERX system. We're going to talk about strengths and weaknesses, and I'm also going to talk about the stocks themselves and kind of contrast them, okay? So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let me know how you feel about the stuff that I'm saying in this video in the comments below. Also, I have a Patreon that you can subscribe to if you'd like to support the channel. The link will be down in the description below. I don't give you guys a bunch of free stuff or create any kind of secret back channel because I don't like that, but I did want to have a way for people who enjoy the content to support the channel, and that's what the Patreon is for, okay? Any money I make off of Patreon, YouTube, and stuff like that goes on into the stock market, and that's a new thing that's just about to start. So subscribe to the channel, guys. Help me build up a bigger audience. So first of all, I want to say that, and I apologize for the bumpy camera. First of all, I want to say that whenever I make a Tesla video about the Tesla Semi, I always get a lot of people on there that think that I'm bad-mouthing it, okay? And I'm not. I'm a Tesla investor. It's probably my biggest holding, okay? I haven't looked at it. I haven't checked to see where it's at in relation to my other investments lately, but I believe it's my biggest holding. So I'm a Tesla investor, okay? And I'm also a Hyliion investor. And so when I say this is a Tesla versus Hyliion video, I don't mean to say that one is going to overtake the other or push the other out in the semi-truck space, okay? And I get that question a lot. Do you think that Hyliion's gonna win over Tesla, or do you think that Tesla's gonna win over Hyliion? And I think there's plenty of room for both. I forgot to mention, I'm not a financial advisor, guys. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country, researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I'm not your mama, all right? But yeah, as far as Tesla versus Hyliion, when you think about will one push the other out or affect the other in any way, I don't think that they will, okay? I think that there is plenty of room for multiple companies to exist and do well and flourish in the semi market, okay? Because, you know, when you compare the two, you're really talking about the Tesla Semi. Tesla is an investment that I believe is a fantastic investment, okay, because they've got their hands in so many different things. You know, they've got so many irons in the fire that they're just going to do extremely well over the next decade, you know, and I have no question about that. And I think that their Semi is going to do really well when they're finally putting it out and able to scale to some kind of a number. I think the Tesla Semi is going to do very well. I also think that the Hyliion ERX is going to do very well, okay? And while there is some overlap, they are essentially in different parts of the semi-truck market, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about Hyliion first, because I've had some questions lately wanting me to kind of explain the system, because you know, there is a lot of misunderstanding about Hyliion out there, okay? I've been driving trucks for 20 years. I know trucks, and I know trucking, okay? And I can see, you know, I'm also an intelligent guy, and I can see the things that will or won't work and the problems that might arise. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and that I see everything, but Hyliion is the only company that has a solution for long-haul trucking, okay? And there are a lot of us out here that are long-haul truckers. So let's talk about the Hyliion system a little bit, okay? So they have two products, okay? The one that is currently available and one that has not yet been released. The first product they have is a hybrid electric system. This system retrofits onto a truck and basically turns the back axle into an electric axle that assists the truck to try to increase fuel economy, and it also acts as what's called an APU, or an auxiliary power unit. Big trucks right now, most companies buy APUs for the trucks, okay? They don't come with the truck. They're something that they have to retrofit. And an APU allows me to turn the truck off and still have air conditioning and heat and be able to run my microwave and all that kind of stuff. It's basically like a generator. The one in my truck is electric. It's a battery pack that charges from the truck engine, okay? But the Hyliion hybrid electric system is also an APU. So I don't know the exact price of it, but I know that companies spend a lot on the APUs, and by installing that hybrid system, they could not only save a little money on the APU, but also maybe get a little better fuel economy and a little more power in the truck. Okay, that's the Hyliion hybrid electric system. Now, before we talk about the ERX, I want to say I'm not very bullish on the hybrid electric system, guys. Like, I don't see a lot of companies spending money to retrofit a system like that on a truck, mostly because most companies trade their trucks in every 4 years or so, and I just don't see it being realistic to expect for companies to do that, and I think that that's why a whole lot of those systems have not been installed. There's also been reports that have come out that said that their estimations of the fuel savings are not really accurate, and that you actually save less than what they say, blah, 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 okay? Either way it goes, I don't invest in Hyliion because of that hybrid electric system, okay? I invest in Hyliion because of the ERX system. They've been testing it on a Freightliner for about the last year, and in about 5 months, in September, they're going to install a bunch of them on Peterbilts, and they're going to distribute those to some companies for them to test and go through a testing phase before they commercialize it. All right, now what this ERX system is it's a system that, instead of having a diesel engine and a traditional transmission and powertrain and rear end, the Hyliion system is a natural gas generator, where the engine would be, that charges a battery and runs the whole truck on an electric drivetrain. So it is a fully electric vehicle. It's only hybrid in the sense that you fill it with natural gas, and the natural gas generator charges the batteries. The benefits of this system, the main benefit is that you're going to get about 1,300 miles of range, and that fueling infrastructure already exists to fuel natural gas. Flying J truck stops, not all of them, but a lot of them have natural gas fueling. So there doesn't have to be a whole lot of infrastructure put in place to use these trucks, okay? Now, Hyliion is not making a truck. This is a system that replaces the drivetrain in a big truck, okay? But here's the thing that people really misunderstand, okay? This is not a system that is retrofit. I'm sure it could be done, But this is not a system that you're going to take your existing big truck and pull the engine and transmission and everything out of it and replace it with this system. This is a system that will go in a truck that does not have a engine and transmission. And what that's called is a glider truck. These already exist. What people will do is that, well, they can't do it anymore because the government regulated it, but companies used to buy trucks from Freightliner, Peterbilt, etc. without engines and transmissions, and then they would put in an older motor, and so that they didn't have to have all of the emission systems on the truck, okay? Now, all this Hyliion ERX system is another form of glider. So somebody could buy a glider kit or a truck that doesn't have an engine or transmission and have the ERX installed. And the ultimate goal should be that when you go to buy a truck, you can get it like you do now with either, say, if it's Kenworth, you can get a Cummins or a PACCAR, whatever kind of transmission and rear ends that you want. That's the way it works right now. It's just adding another option into that pool so that instead of getting a Cummins with a 13-speed, you can get the Hyliion ERX system, okay? So it's not really a retrofit situation like a lot of people think it is. It's something that is more like a glider kit. And if you do a little research, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it gets people away from the emission system. So I know I've drugged that out, but I wanted to kind of make a little bit of an explanation, because I think a lot of people really misunderstand what Hyliion is about to do. Okay, so go look at my other Hyliion videos, and you know, I go more in depth in those. Okay, so with that said, Tesla is making a whole truck, okay? So in order for a company to get a Tesla, they're going to have to buy it from Tesla, they're going to have to wait for Tesla to make it, etc., etc., okay? And the range is just not enough for long-haul trucking. But in the short-haul space, like they just recently got an order from Pepsi, okay? Pepsi's drivers, they don't do long haul, okay? They run around town going to convenience stores, humping 12 packs, okay? That is a perfect application for Tesla, and I guarantee that they will be able to sell as many as they can make for the first few years at least. However many they can make, they're going to be able to sell, okay? And the same is true of Hyliion for me. However many they can make, they're probably going to get orders for them, okay? After this next year goes by and we get the testing and all the validation that needs to happen, and some of these companies that are in this new coalition they've formed to make orders, Hyliion is going to begin to proliferate throughout the long haul space. Now, the one thing I will say is that there is overlap, because the Hyliion system can also be used for short haul. But they have the advantage of being the only company that's going to have a solution for long haul, okay? But Tesla, again, is going to do really well in that short haul space. So there is room, guys. There's plenty of room for both of these companies to flourish and grow and do really well over the next 10 years. As an investment, okay, as an investment, Hyliion is more speculative than Tesla, okay? Tesla, in my mind, if you invest in Tesla today, in 5 years, your money is probably going to double, okay? You're going to get returns on Tesla over time, okay? Hyliion is a little more speculative because they don't have the current success that Tesla has. They also don't have the benefit of making money off of cars and energy and all this other stuff that Tesla has, okay? However, as an investment, if you're willing to risk the money, like take the risk, Hyliion is a bigger risk, then in my opinion, Hyliion has a bigger upside, okay? Because if they execute, if they make deals and they start selling their product, it's trading for like $10, okay? It's below the SPAC price right now. So how likely is it, if you look at the two stocks, contrast the two stocks, how likely is it for Tesla to 5x in the next 3 years? And how likely is it for Hyliion to 5x in the next 3 years, okay? I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, if you believe that Hyliion will execute, Hyliion has much more upside. It could, in my opinion, it could easily 10x in the next 5 years, okay? Whereas we can't say that Tesla's going to 10x in 5 years. I mean, we just can't. A lot of people are, maybe 2 or 3x, and it could do way better than that. But just, from an investor standpoint, like, while there is more risk in Hyliion, there's a lot more upside with it only trading at $10. I mean, if Hyliion does what I think it will do, which is begin to really proliferate over the next 5 years out into the trucking world, long haul trucking in particular, guys, it's going to do really well. Like, it's going to start really growing fast after we get through this next year and a half. So, problems that I see with the two systems, okay? I see problems with, mostly for Tesla, with the seat being in the middle, okay? I think there's a problem with that. It's hard to back that truck because it basically creates two blind sides. As a truck driver, you never want to back out of your blind side. You're always backing over here out of the mirror that's closest to you so you can stick your head out the window and look at your trailer and stuff. And so I see that seating in the middle as being an issue. Other than that, I don't see huge issues with it or anything. I think that it's going to be a very successful product. And I speculate that eventually they may have to move to a left-hand seating because of that issue. But that's speculative. We'll just have to see. As far as Hyliion's concerned, the biggest issue I can see for them is striking deals with OEMs to get their system installed from the factory, okay? I think that is going to happen relatively quickly, but you never know, and that could be problematic. It could slow down their growth for a while. But I still think that they're going to do really well because the glider companies that have been hurt really hard by the government regulation, I think that they're going to welcome it as an opportunity for them to revitalize their businesses, and that those systems are going to be used. I mean, this new coalition that they formed has a couple of really, really large over-the-road truck companies that are going to be receiving these demonstration models in September. And I just looking at those two companies, and from what I know of them as a truck driver, I cannot imagine them not placing large orders of the product as long as Hyliion executes and the product works. And they've been testing the product for a year, and it totally appears to work very well, okay? So, I know this has been a long video, guys, and I wanted to make the point with this video that there is plenty of room for both of these companies to exist and to flourish and to sell just as many of these trucks and or systems as they can produce, okay? And also, like, to clear up some misunderstandings about Hyliion and kind of explain what the system is, because a lot of people have it in their minds that they're going to make trucks, and a lot of people have it in their minds that they're going to run on hydrogen, and that's just not what Hyliion is. It's a natural gas generator that charges a battery pack so you don't have to plug the vehicle in. And what it creates is a truck with 1,300 miles of range, which is something that Tesla just cannot compare to as far as the long haul space is concerned. okay? And also there's fueling infrastructure already all throughout the country. And another thing that I wanted to point out in reference to Hyliion, okay, is that a lot of big trucking companies, they have relationships with certain brands. So like when you look at Schneider, which is one of the members of the coalition that they've formed, they use exclusively Freightliner trucks, okay? And so they have relationships with these dealers where they get all kinds of deals and, you know, kickbacks, who knows what all they get, but they've been using these same trucks for a long time for a reason. And so when you think about the fact that Tesla's making their own truck, then they have to use a new company that they're not familiar with. And a lot of trucking operates on a good old boy type of system where I can call my guy over at Freightliner and he'll take care of me, you know what I mean? And so I think that that's kind of another advantage that Hyliion has, specifically if they are able to strike deals with the OEMs to release these systems stock from the manufacturer, to where a guy, he can still call his guy at Freightliner and get his trucks, but he just gets them with the ERX instead of the Cummins and the 18-speed or whatever. I think that's an advantage in the long term, because even the short haul, like local type companies, typically use all the same brand of truck, and they get, you know, they get deals when they buy large numbers of trucks from these companies. So while I still think Tesla's going to sell just as many as they can produce, I think that could be kind of an advantage for Hyliion, even in that short haul local type space. Because if, like I say, if Bubba can still go get his trucks from Freightliner and use this ERX system, instead of using a whole new trucking company, a whole new guy that he's unfamiliar with and stuff, they may be more apt to order it from the people that they're familiar with. And that's just, you know, I don't think that that's going to hold Tesla back. I don't think that that's going to make Hyliion beat Tesla in any way. I just think that that's kind of an advantage to the way Hyliion's approaching it, as opposed to Tesla. But like I say, I'm invested in both. I believe in both. Tesla is my largest position right now, but I hope for Hyliion to grow into being my largest position, because I believe that it's going to 5x over the next few years. I mean, over the next couple of years, I expect it to 5 or 10x. I mean, it just depends on how well they execute. And Tesla, I expect it to be up over 1,000 by the end of the year, and, you know, to probably double over the next year and a half to 2 years. And that's where I see it, okay? So I hope this video was helpful. Again, if you enjoy the content and you want to hear stuff from a real truck driver about these semis and about these companies, hit that subscribe button, guys. Like the video, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you really enjoy the content and you want to support the channel, join that Patreon in the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support.